Y'all having a good time in Nebraska? Good. I'm glad. Take it to a concert, ain't cheap. Just want to say, so grateful that y'all came tonight. I know you paid your hard-earned money to get in here, and I hope the show is worth the price of admission. And, I'm just so grateful. This is my job. If you know anything about my story, it's been a grind getting here. Some of these people in my band, we were playing a restaurant about 7 years ago. Wasn't anybody listening to us. And so this right here, it makes our souls full. And we love it. We love coming out here and meeting y'all every night. So thanks for singing along with us. This next song I'm gonna sing for y'all is hands down. Oh my God, that was a bra. It's not my size, sorry. Hey, this next song I'm gonna sing for y'all is called Craig, okay? And listen up, if you I don't know how to say this. I always get nervous before I introduce this song because the message is just pure joy to me. It's all I want to say out here the whole night. I'd rather talk about this than anything else on this stage, and that's crazy because that wasn't me 3 years ago. This song is about a guy named Craig, but it's really about a dude named Jesus. And I'm a brand new, I'm gonna tell you right now, unbelievers and believers, listen to me. Please listen to me. I'm not a smart human. I did terrible in school. I'm not a preacher, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a coach. I've read the Bible 2 times and I understand maybe 20 sentences in it, but I understand the good ones. And I understand them a lot, and I love them, and I love Jesus, and that's a new thing in my life. And so, if you're an unbeliever, and you're like, man, I wish this dude would shut up and just sing the rest of the show, I understand you a lot. I can relate with those feelings. That was me not long ago. But this guy named Craig, I met him at this random church that I didn't want to be at. My wife dragged me there about 8 years ago, and we had just when I met Craig, I was working at Costco, and I was an alcoholic. I'm now almost 8 years sober. Let's go, raise a good to that. And I walked in this guy's church. I walked into Craig's church, and it was a brand new church, very little. And he shook my hand. He said, "Man, I'm glad you're here." And when he said that, I was hammered. On my face you could read, "I hate this place. I think all of y'all are crazy." But he didn't care. He truly was glad that I just came to their church that he invited me to come to. And over the next few years, him and his wife, they invited us to their home. They opened their home to us. They came to our house. He came to my shows. He let all his kids learn all the dirty words to my songs. He didn't judge me ever. Didn't judge me one time for my silly dreams, for my alcohol. He never judged me, only loved me. So much that there were times where my wife and I would drive home from his house and go, "Man, why does this guy love us so much?" And that's why I wrote this song. He showed up at one of my son's baseball games when my wife and we had just had our 6th kid. We were driving around in one car. We didn't have enough seat belts. So Craig showed up at my son's baseball game, and he gives me his minivan out of his garage. He gets out of the car with the keys and the title to his minivan. He says, "Man, all you gotta do is sign and it's yours." And I didn't want it. I was embarrassed. I thought that by taking the car, I just was admitting that I was really weak and that I needed help. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate. I don't like to admit that. And finally, I just accepted the gift and took it home. And when I drove home, I looked at my rear view and I realized that all my kids were safe now. They all had a seatbelt. So I didn't know how to thank Craig. So I started writing this song. And when I wrote this song, Craig, I wrote it not as a believer, just as a completely confused guy looking at another guy going, "What's he got that I need? Because he's got something I need." And then I figured that out, that was Jesus. That was Jesus' light coming through Craig that I was so drawn to. So Thank you, believers. Thank you, unbelievers, for listening to my story. Craig and I we're now next door neighbors. We're best buddies. And we've written a book. It's called Glad You're Here. It tells all the details of some struggles I had, alcoholism, recovery, the loss of our 7th child. It's all the details are in there, and it just really speaks the life of Jesus coming through 2 dudes. So this song is called Craig. Thanks for listening to my testimony. Here you go. At a church called Redeeming Grace. It's like he understood my I don't want to be here face. I didn't bow my head, not one single prayer, but he just shook my hand, said I'm glad you're here. He says we'll all be judged, but he was never judgmental. And even though my songs, they don't belong in no hymnal, he quote me my lyrics, slapped me on the back, said man, you got a gift. How you write like that? Yeah, I know. It sounds cool, right? Not the typical kid from Sunday school, right? I still ain't figured out church yet. But Craig, I get, said now you can't walk on water, turning down the valley red. But he just might be tight with a man that good. Now you can't light the world, but I wish I was God his head. Yeah, he just might be tight with a man that good. Let's go! When you lose a record deal, y'all, the perks fade fast. Dealership said we're gonna need to get that minivan back, so we were down to 1 car. And broke as I felt, had my wife and 6 kids and only 5 seatbelts. I needed help, but I couldn't admit I was struggling. I said, Craig, it's all good, but he knew it all wasn't. Hey man, I'm praying for you would have been sufficient, but not. He took roadside assistance to a whole nother level with sacrificial heights. Showed up at the ballpark after my son's game one night in 2 cars with his wife Laura watching from the other. So what in the world are y'all doing here, brother? He just laughed inside that old Chrysler Town and Country van with the keys and the title and the pen in his hand. Said, man, all you gotta do is sign in this yours. I said, no way, but he wouldn't take nah for an answer. He said, please do, somebody did this for me once, just let me do this for you. We argued about it for a little while, and I teared up, and Craig smiled. So now he can't walk on water, turning down the valley red. But he just might be tight with a man that did. Yeah, but light the world, and I wish I was by his head. Yeah, he just might be tight with a man that did. Sounds cool, right? Not your typical kid from Sunday school, right? I still ain't figured out church yet. But Craig, I get it. So now you can't walk on water, turning down the valley red. But he just might be tight with a man that good. I'm ready to light the world, and I wish I was by his head. Yeah, he just might be tight with a man that. Yo, my brother was way too ashamed to be adequately grateful at the moment. But I signed that dotted line, and I drove the kids home. And when a cop pulled up beside us at the light, they didn't have to duck. Cause thanks to Craig, y'all, they were all buckled up.